Everyone, this is OJ back with another video. Today, we're going to break down the unfortunate news, which was the verdict in the Cain Velasquez trial. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Cain Velasquez, former UFC heavyweight champion, is serving 5 years in prison for attempted murder of a man who has been accused of molesting his son a few years back. I'm going to break down this video into two parts. First, I will cover only the facts that are presented to us, the general public. As a journalist myself, I will refrain from giving any of my opinions regarding the case itself until I give as much information about the case as possible. Only then will I give my opinions regarding the case. Fingers crossed that this video stays up because it very well may not, but I'm going to record this anyways, and without wasting any more time, let's jump straight into the video. So I will have an article written by Nolan King here, and you guys can feel free to read what's up on the screen. If you want a link to the full article, I will have that in the description below. But basically, I will be paraphrasing what was written in this article by the MMA Junkie. A judge sentenced Cain Velasquez to 5 years in jail for attempting to murder Harry Goularte, a 46-year-old man who allegedly molested his 4-year-old son in 2022. Velasquez has been under house arrest since the shooting, and out of the 5 years sentenced, he has served 1,283 days under house arrest. The reason why Velasquez is being charged with attempted murder is because Velasquez was pursuing the vehicle Goularte was in, and he proceeded to open fire on said vehicle. Inside the vehicle were multiple passengers other than Harry Goularte, and Goularte's father was injured as a result of Velasquez firing at the vehicle. There were multiple statements released from both sides of the hearing, such as one from the district attorney who tried to prosecute Cain Velasquez, Jeff Rosen. Quote, one man's decision to take the law into his own hands left an innocent man wounded and endangered. School children, teachers, and many others in our community. If you want to do justice in Santa Clara County, please apply for a badge. There was also another statement released by Harry Goularte's mother, Patricia Goularte. Quote, this sentence is extremely disappointing. It's based on an alleged allegation that has no basis. It is unfounded. We are looking for the opportunity in Harry's case to prove that as we do have ample amount of evidence to do that. It's sad that the court system and the public can be influenced by simply somebody saying something with no facts. We do look forward to that. I'm glad that we're supported by all of our family members, friends, and multiple years of daycare children. If you notice, young children that grew up in that facility, none of which will back any of those allegations made by the Velasquez family. There is also a separate statement made by Cain Velasquez regarding the situation. Quote, what I did was not correct. I understand that. I paid, and I'll pay whatever else as far as what I have to do to pay all that back. I don't think I can pay it back, but I can always learn from my mistakes and help others. It's just information that you never know anybody. Trust your kids. Have the have that open communication with your kids when you do go to the bathroom with them when they're very young, you can work your way in there as far as talking to them about what's appropriate and what is not, so they know to tell you that they can always tell you whenever something is not correct. So, as far as that goes, it's basically that the more we get consciously aware of ourselves, the more the light shines on dark things, especially things like that. And finally, earlier yesterday, there was also another article by Nolan King regarding the statements made by Velasquez's defense attorney, Rennie Hessling. I will also leave this article's link down in the description below. Quote, today's results are bittersweet. We had hoped Mr. Velasquez will remain out of jail. However, the fact remains clear. Cain Velasquez is a good man, a devoted father, and a respected member of the community. What he and his family have endured has been nothing short of a living nightmare, one they did not deserve. And as for the allegation itself, I could not really find much details about the accusation other than what Velasquez's son alleged. Reading up on the third article regarding the alleged molesting, this is all I could find from the MMA Junkie. According to the investigators, Goularte sexually assaulted a 4-year-old child at a daycare he resided at run by his mother. The children, who was later publicly identified by defense attorney Mark Greg Ragos as Velasquez's 40-year-old son, told investigators Goularte took the child to the bathroom and touched the child's genitals. The child said it happened 100 times and that other children were seen going into the bathroom with Goularte. Once again, I will have this article in the description below if any of you guys are interested regarding this case. And after reading about, I guess, most of the facts regarding this case, honestly, I feel relieved that Cain Velasquez is only receiving at most like 1.5 years of prison sentence. Remember, Cain Velasquez opened fired in a vehicle that had innocent civilians in that vehicle. If the guy he shot in that situation were to die, then Velasquez could easily be looking at first degree murder in his hands, which is the last thing any of us hope Velasquez gets charged with. Velasquez already served 3.5 years of his sentence. So while this does still suck, I'm really happy for Cain Velasquez because he probably wasn't going to get anything much better than this. And that being said, I feel that I need to bring this up because cases like this kind of speak to just how lenient the US justice system is when it comes to dealing with sexual predators. I'm not saying that Harry Goularte is a sexual predator because technically there's no evidence I can point to claiming that Goularte is, but the fact that this heavy accusation has been brushed off by officials really speaks to how lenient the justice system is to serious cases like child molestation. This isn't me claiming that Goularte is a child molester, but it feels as if the court system, again, is not giving any details. All I can find on the internet was the fact that Goularte pleaded not guilty to molesting Cain Velasquez's 4-year-old son. Nothing else. And listen, maybe there is something out there, but I spent roughly 4 hours trying to dig up information regarding the accusation itself, and that's not including the time I spent reading up on the verdict placed yesterday. There is just so little information to work with that I cannot even say whether or not Goularte should be found guilty or not, and I blame the justice system for taking matters like this with a lackluster approach. And in a way, I completely understand why Velasquez chose to take matters into his own hands. The district attorney who said that Velasquez should have just applied for a badge to take matters into his own hands is kind of out of touch with reality. Like, he's right, but if you're telling someone to apply for a badge in order to pursue any sort of action against their children's molester, go fuck yourself because this is why no one in the Western world takes child molestation seriously. Like, imagine having to hear that your child got molested, and the courts tell you that the fastest time they could give you, like, an official hearing is in roughly 2 to 3 months. And yeah, that will really show those molesters why they should never diddle with kids ever again. When the only punishment these pedophiles face is a possible court hearing 2, 3 months down the line, with there being a slight possibility that the perpetrator will get punished. And it's even worse in Europe. Just look up the British grooming gangs all over the UK. It took almost 20 years for the UK government to take any action against these gangs, and the only reason people outside of the UK know about this situation is because Elon Musk fucking tweeted about this several months ago. If anything, the British government outright censored coverage of these gangs because it incites Islamophobia. Like no wonder countries like Britain and France are going down the shitter as we speak. This isn't me comparing grooming gangs to this particular case itself, but what I am trying to point out is the lack of care that the Western justice system seems to handle cases involving child molestation. And listen, I'm guilty of making memes online about someone being accused of being a pedophile, and I understand that I'm part of the wrong in a way. But at the same time, it feels as if pedophilia is being treated as one big joke lately, and it's ultimately because of how little consequence child molesters face by the Western court systems. The justice system never looks into allegations of pedophilia seriously. People online just take pedophilia as a joke, and there does not seem to be real punishment against child molesters lately, other than when influencers go around beating these child predators up on camera, and it makes you realize why Cain Velasquez did what he did. Later down the road, if my child were ever involved in getting groomed or molested, I ain't waiting for the US court system to do something about it because chances are the perpetrator isn't going to face any punitive action unless I do something about it. And if I have to go to jail to make that a point, then so be it. But hopefully, I won't have to make that point later in my life. All right, that's where I'm going to end this video for today. It's not a video I typically make, but videos like this really help me as a journalist because I'm forced to look at all of the facts without letting my bias get in the way, and then form an opinion based on the vast amount of information I read upon a particular topic. Again, maybe you guys might not agree with the message I had in this video, but I hope that people can see where I'm coming from when I say that pedophilia is treated as a joke in the Western world, and it's kind of concerning just how lenient the criminal justice system across the Western world is when it comes to child molestation. But yeah, other than that, my next video is probably going to be something a lot more lighthearted than a heavy topic like this. But other than that, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.